Assalamu alaikum. So I have spent more than 13 years studying systems, ecology, cybernetics, evolution, civilizations, feedback loops, collapse, complexity, and how everything affects everything else. This morning, my friend advised me to read the Byzantines, so Surah Al-Rum. So I did. And honestly, I had to stop reading. Because suddenly the Quran wasn't asking me to ignore the world, it was asking me to look at it more carefully. Think about it. Allah says, among His signs, your creation, your languages, your different skin colors, your sleep, the rain, lightning, plants growing after the earth was death, marriage, affection, mercy, history, and even the rise and fall of civilizations. Not random facts, signs. And I'm getting goosebumps just reflecting on this. Everything I've been studying, systems theory, ecology, biology, complexity, they're all describing relationships. Nothing exists by itself. Everything depends on something else. The forest depends on rain. The rain depends on oceans. The oceans depend on climate. The climate depends on energy. Civilizations depend on ecosystems. Our bodies depend on bacteria. Our brain depends on oxygen. Our thoughts depend on our bodies. Everything depends. And then the Quran says something that completely changed my perspective. Among His signs is that the heaven and the earth stand fast by His command. Not they stood, they stand. Right now. Existence isn't something God started. Existence is something He continuously sustains. I'm getting goosebumps again. Suddenly we're not looking at isolated objects anymore. We're looking at a deeply interconnected web of dependence. And then another interesting verse hit me, and I talked about this verse before. Corruption has appeared on the land and sea because of what people's hands have earned. Think about that. Human behavior changes reality. Reality feeds back into human behavior. That is a feedback loop. The Quran isn't anti-science, it's asking us to observe, to reflect and to travel through the earth, to study those who came before us, to look at history, to look at nature, to look at ourselves. And I realized that I've been doing that for 13 plus years. And then one of my favorite verses. Set your face towards the religion as a Hanif, according to the fitra upon which God created humankind. Notice something. It doesn't begin with join this tribe, defend this identity, win this debate. It begins with turn, orientation. And I've realized something. The deeper I study creation, the less independent anything looks, including myself. The more I study reality, the more my dependence becomes obvious. And maybe that's exactly what Tawhid is teaching us. Not simply that God is one, but that everything else is radically dependent. So now when I look at ecosystems, history, biology, or even my own mind, or the current polycrisis we have in the world, I don't just see information anymore, I see signs. And honestly, the only natural reaction to that is just awe of Allah, honestly.